The first card you have for your past is the Judgment card. I think you're really looking backwards at this time. I think you were looking back over things, and I think you were really thinking about a recent relationship that you'd had that was over, and I think you might have been looking back at your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own behaviour around this relationship. I'm not saying you were blaming yourself, but I think you were just kind of reassessing everything, thinking about how did I do, how did they do, what happened, how can I prevent this happening in the future or whatever. And yes, you were doing this in your last reading, but I think now you're still going through that process of self-reflection again. It's a long process, you're still going through it. So yes, I know you're going to say, oh, that was in the last reading. Yes, you're still going through the same process. That's what I'm seeing. This is a long process. You started this a while ago. You're still going to be going through this in your future. I think it's going to take some time. And there's a family in this card, and there's a mirror image of the same family in the background over the other side. So yeah, this is why I'm seeing this. It looks like, you know, they're looking at themselves in a kind of a mirror almost. It looks like a mirror image, and they're looking at themselves. They're examining themselves before this big judgment day, which is what's happening in this card. And, you know, I think what you were doing and what you're still doing and what you're going to be doing in the future still in this big process of examining yourself is a really important thing. A lot of people don't do this. A lot of people don't examine themselves after a relationship. There are a lot of people who just try to move on quickly, or they just jump into another relationship. And you didn't do that. It's not like you. You're a very slow, very careful person. You like to plan things. You like to make sure you're 100% ready before you jump back into something else. And yeah, you do this a lot. You look inside yourself a lot. You're all into self-improvement, and you're very spiritual as well. And sometimes people don't see you as being spiritual. They see you as being kind of organized and businesslike. And you're both. You're both. You can be both. There's a lot of unnecessary categorizing in the world, and some people say, oh, you're this, you're a business type, or you're a spiritual type, or you're a this type, or you're artistic, or you're this. No, you can be a number of different things, and that's what you are. You're a number of different things. But yes, you were going through a process of healing. You still are, cleansing yourself. I'm just looking at the snow-covered mountains in this card, and the snow can represent cleansing and, you know, the winter before the spring, clearing out the old before the new comes in. And so that's what you were going through. And this was a really important process, a really good process. And I think you knew that you had to go through this before you even ready to even think about anyone else new coming into your life. The next card you have for your past is the Magician. So I'm seeing a few things in this card. I'm seeing, I'm seeing a strong attraction. I'm seeing a magnetic attraction, actually. I think you might have been attracted to someone. I think maybe you still are probably attracted to this person, but I think that maybe you felt that nothing would really come of this, that nothing would happen between you, really. I don't think you were disappointed around this. I think you just thought that this might just be a crush or a bit of fun or something like that. I think you just had fun thinking about this person, because, you know, this person is a really charismatic person. I'm seeing someone who's really popular. I'm seeing someone who enjoyed being around you, and you were just enjoying being around you, if that makes sense. But I think they're also a kind of a person who enjoys being around a lot of people. They like flirting with a lot of different people. So, and I think you knew this, and I think that's why you weren't taking anything very seriously around this person. And, you know, if they were flirting with you as well, which they probably were, you know, you weren't taking it seriously. You weren't reading anything into this. You're just having fun. That's what I'm seeing. So the other thing I'm seeing in this card is that you're definitely a leader, like this Magician, and you're a charismatic person as well. Definitely when it comes to work ideas and business ideas, you kind of have these ideas, they just pop into your head, they jump into your head, you can manifest them really quickly. You're very dynamic at work, and people probably look at you and think, wow, how do they do that? How do they do all of this work? How do they stay so enthusiastic? How do they have all these ideas? That's what I'm seeing. But the other thing I'm seeing is that, you know, when it comes to relying on other people, you're not very strong in that aspect, in that area. Now, I'm not blaming you. I'm not saying, oh, you're weak in that area. The reason why this is that I think there haven't been many people who you've been able to rely on. And this is in the workplace and in your love life as well. You have not had many people who you're able to rely on, sadly. You're so used to relying on yourself as well. You're extremely independent. But I think to be able to fulfill some of these ideas that you've had in your head, because there are a lot that you haven't been able to do yet, and you'd love to do them. You're enthusiastic, but you kind of think, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't know. But I think to be able to do these things, you're going to have to bring other people in to help you to do these things. For one, you just don't have time to do everything yourself. And for another thing, you just don't have all of the expertise you need to be able to do everything properly. So I think you are going to have to work on, you're still going through this process of working on yourself. And I think what you're going to have to do is work on being able to trust other people to bring into your life to help you with things, especially around the workplace. You know, the magician works alone, but you can't do everything alone. You can't be like the magician in that sense. The last card you have for your past is death. So yeah, you are finally, you know, you're in this process, I keep on seeing this, and you were finally putting an end to something in your head, in your heart. Again, I think this was in your last reading. This is continuing on from that. You're still going through the same process. And I think, yeah, you thought this person was going to be someone really, really special, but they weren't. They really were not special. So whoever this person was, they didn't value you. They did not value you as much as they should have. And yeah, okay, I'll just tell you what I'm seeing. They might have even had a third party, or they might have even had a few people that they were talking to. I'm not sure if they acted on any of these people, but I am definitely seeing different people kind of lined up in their mind. It's like they were thinking, oh, who's next? Who's next? Who's next? I'm not taking this situation seriously. Someone else is around me, someone else, oh, I could choose them, I could choose them. They weren't taking you seriously. They weren't taking your relationship seriously. And, you know, if this resonates and you're kind of looking back on this time with them, which is what I'm seeing you doing, and you're kind of thinking, you know, they were really distant from me. They're unavailable. I tried to get them to see me at that time and they said, oh, I can't. And they're really vague about why. This is probably why, because they were lining up other people or talking to other people. And I think maybe you knew this instinctively when you started to look back over things. Maybe not, but if not, this is what you're going to have to do. Really think about this. But I can just tell you, this is their loss. This is their loss. You are an amazing catch. You have so much going for you. I'm not just saying this to make you like me, to give me a thumbs up. I'm not saying that for that reason. You're an amazing catch. You are amazing in the workplace. You're dynamic, you're strong, you're reliable, you're sensible, you're creative, you're spiritual, all of that stuff. They didn't see any of that. They weren't valuing the real stuff, the good stuff. They were just valuing, oh, what's around the corner? How can I kind of, you know, get this or that other good-looking person around the corner? They weren't thinking on a deep level. You're a very deep person. They were not looking at the attraction on a deep level. They were looking at the surface level. What's on the surface? Oh, are they more attractive than you? Are they, oh, they have this, they have that, you know. And it's all surface level. So I think, yeah, you're definitely better off without this person. It's definitely their loss. But yeah, again, I can see why you struggle to trust people, because you've been around this person and other people as well in your past. But yeah, you are moving on, you're examining this. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's not so hard. But you'll keep on doing this because you are that sensible person and you are that spiritual person, and you will grow out of this better than they are. That's what I'm seeing. The first card you have for your present is the Star. So yeah, never feel that you're second place or that you're the one who wasn't chosen if this is all resonating with you. I can't see that, you know, I can see that what happened did knock your confidence, but I can't see that this person was worth knocking your confidence for. They were not. This is someone who's a very shallow person, and you're not like that. I'm sorry, cross watchers, this is what I'm seeing. But you know, you keep going as well. This is a thing about you as well. This is an asset as well for you. You keep going, you keep smiling, especially in the workplace. Not many people around you knew that you were feeling like this when you were going through this. But you know, your confidence is starting to come back at this time. Look at this beautiful woman. She's naked. She is who she is. She's very confident. She has nothing to hide. And again, you know, you're getting your confidence back. You're healing. Your emotions are healing. And if you look at the water that she's pouring down onto the earth, it's creating these tiny rivers, and each river is kind of branching out into a new one, branching out, and then running toward you, healing you. All of these little tiny streams of healing coming toward you. And that's what I was seeing in the Death card with the snow-covered mountain. And it's right next to it as well. No, it's not. No, not in the Death card, in the Judgment card, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can see the snow-covered mountains, and then right next to that is the Star card with the water coming down toward you, so that healing water is coming down toward you. And this is the card of hope as well, so things are definitely improving. You will start to trust again, you absolutely will. It's going to take time, but you are going to start to trust again. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have, your present, is the Emperor. So I'm seeing someone who's just very, very, very right and wrong, good and bad. There's no kind of grey area or a room for any mistakes around this person, or any room to just be a human being. You know, human beings make mistakes, human beings trip over, human beings forget things. But with this person, nobody can be human. Everything has to be done in a certain way, or it's not up to standard with this person. That's what I'm seeing. And I know I keep on saying this, but I saw someone like this in your past reading, in your last reading probably, around work. So this really is a big continuation with a lot of issues that were happening last week. You're still going through things, but it's also showing me that you're working through them. You're at the next level of working through all of these things. So yeah, you're getting yourself through these things. But yes, this person is around your workplace or around your business. They might be a client, they might be your boss. They're very, very, very difficult. I'm getting this feeling that they're almost trying to dictate not just what you do, but how you do things, micromanaging, almost saying, oh no, you don't put that there, you put that thing over there. Oh no, you don't put that figure over there, you put that there. Oh no, you don't put your rubbish bin there, you put it over there. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. You don't put your pen on the table over there, you put your pen in this. I mean, I'm exaggerating, I know, but it's that kind of crazy micromanaging stuff I'm seeing. And you know, if this is a client, they might be more trouble than they're worth. Even if they're bringing you business or money, it might not be worth your mental health to even have this person anywhere near you. If you can afford to not have them around you, you might have to just let them go. Now, obviously, if this is a client, you might have to start to build up a lot of newer clients so that you can say goodbye to this person if this is something you need to do. So you might have to plan around this. If this is someone in your workplace and there's no way of them ever leaving or moving out of your way or whatever, you might even have to look for other work if it stays like this. You might even have to look for work that might not pay as much. It might be something like that. Now, you're a competent person. You're very competent. What they're saying about you is not true. They're trying to make you look small. You're not like that at all, especially around the workplace. You know, you're just getting your confidence back around love. Don't let this person erode your confidence around the workplace. Work, business, all of that kind of thing, that's your strength. I always see that in your reading, so don't let them set you back. The last card you have, your present, is the Ten of Cups. So this is a beautiful card. But yeah, sometimes this is about, you know, relationship, marriage, happily ever after. I'm seeing something very different in this card. I think this might be a message to you about this person in the Emperor card, actually. If this is all resonating with you, it might be worth it to you to lose that money that comes with this person, this difficult person. If they're a client, it's up to you, of course, but I think you might struggle with doing this, with losing this person. I'm not saying you're super money hungry or anything like that. I'm not saying that's the reason. But if you have a look at the family on this card, obviously they're really happy, but they're not dressed in expensive clothes or anything like that. And this house that they're looking at is quite modest as well. It's not a great big mansion or anything like that. And there's a stream running in from the edge of where the family's standing into where the house is. And so the stream is obviously emotions, and this is positive, so there's positive emotion going in. And what's bringing them happiness is positive emotions, not money. It's each other, it's love, it's all of the positivity that's bringing them this happiness. So this isn't a lecture about money being bad. I don't think money's bad at all. I think money's a good thing. Well, it can be good and bad depending on people's attitudes towards it and depending on what they do with it as well. But if someone's making you so unhappy, if someone's making you feel the opposite of what's happening in this card, it might not be worth your happiness to keep this person on, to have this money. And your happiness is really, really important. So maybe just have a think about all of this. If this resonates, is it worth hanging on to the money to put up with this person? Just have a think about all of that. So the first card you have in your future is the Four of Swords. So I think this person who you're getting over, I think they actually have some regrets. I don't think you've heard from them. I don't think you've spoken to them. I don't think they've spoken to you yet. I think there's a possibility that they might, but at this time they're just laying low, which is what I'm seeing. That's fine. But look at the man in this card, or the statue in this card. He's lying down, he's resting, but he has all of these swords kind of hanging over him, hanging over his head. So I think this person was, or maybe they still are, playing a lot of different people all at once. Very shallow, looking at who's the best looking, who's the best this, blah, blah, silly things. And I think all of this kind of behavior, playing all these people off each other, you included, it's going to catch up with them in some way eventually. Now, they can go around with their eyes closed, like the man on this card, and pretend it's not happening. But what they've done to people, not you, other people as well, you included, but other people as well, this is going to hang over their conscious. It's going to hang over their head like these swords. They can pretend it hasn't happened. They can pretend to be sleeping and, pretending it's not there, but it is there. What they've done and what they're probably doing is that it's going to come back and haunt them. That's what I'm seeing. And I think if they did open their eyes, if they did face reality, which is what they should do, in the same way that you're you were kind of examining yourself, and you still are, things would probably improve for them. Their mental health and their feelings about themselves would be a lot better. Because the only source of light on this card's coming from this stained glass window. So if they open their eyes and they saw the light, they saw the reality of what they're doing and how they're harming other people, how they're hurting other people, only then, once they face the music, then they'd start to improve. And they'd start to improve the way they treat other people. But I think it's their job to do that. I think they might want to try to put that burden onto you in some way. So just be careful. I'm not seeing they've called you or spoken to you yet in this card, but I am seeing it's a possibility that they might try to put that burden onto you, because you're a helper. You help people, but some work needs to be done alone. You can't soul search for another person, and I think that's what they might try to make you do. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the next card you have in your future is the Eight of Swords. So again, this is them. Again, this poor woman has her blindfold on. She still has her eyes closed, like the man in the Four of Swords has his eyes closed. She doesn't have swords above her now. They're all surrounding her. They're trapping her. So this person can work their way out of how they're feeling if they take the blindfold off, if they open their eyes, if they face the music, if they face what they're doing, then they're going to be able to move forward. they're not, I think this person's going to try and ask you for help, but they're not going to be able to get that help from you. I think you might be tempted to help them because it's in your nature to help them, but I don't think it's a good thing for you. I think you're going to realize actually that you can't afford to let yourself be dragged down with them. You're trying to move forward, you're going through this process yourself. They have to go through the process themselves. And I think, if they do contact you with them, which I'm seeing that they will, you're going to just have to try to point them in the right direction. You're going to have to just advise them to speak to someone else who can help them. You can't be the one to do this. It would not be good for you. That's what I'm seeing, if this is all resonating. I hope this message reaches the right person, because I'm getting this message really strongly, and I am seeing someone who has been through a bad breakup, is going through a process, trying to heal, trying to get through everything, trying to better themselves. Then this ex comes back and tries to talk to them and says, oh, poor me, I just want to be your friend. I know you help people. I know you care about people. Can you help me? Can you help me do this? Can you help me do that? Don't do that. Now, it's good that they're trying to help themselves, but the key word is themselves. They need to help themselves. It would not be good for you to help them. So again, point them in the right direction, get them some help so that they can help themselves. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that resonates. I just had to tell you what I was seeing. The last card you have for your future is the King of Wands. So yeah, you're strong. You have inner strength, you have outer strength as well, whether you feel it or not. So yeah, you might be feeling weak. You might be feeling like, oh, they've asked me and I do feel for them and they are trying to improve themselves. I know that and I want to help them improve. No. Keep your strength to yourself. Let them help themselves. Do your work on yourself. Let them do their work on themselves. I'm seeing the same thing again. This person is going to be feeling stressed. They're not going to be feeling themselves. They're going to be asking you for help. I keep on seeing that over and over and over again. And don't help them. I'm also seeing that I'm not suggesting that you're nasty to this person. I'm seeing that you should kindly say to them, I'm sorry, I'm not the person you should ask. Maybe you should ask this person or that person, or do this or that. There is something that you want to tell them, though, I think. I think you're holding back on telling this person something. Don't do that if this resonates. I think this is something that they need to hear, and this is going to help them on their journey to move forward. I know I said don't help them, but I am seeing this this thing that you need to tell them if this is resonating with you. So I'm sorry this is all a bit messed up. I'm just trying to articulate what I'm seeing. Okay, so tell them what you think they need to hear, and then tell them that they need to seek help in this and that area, not with you. You want to move on now. You don't want to talk to this person again. It's best for both of you if you both went your separate ways. But you just need to tell them this one thing. It's something like that I'm seeing. I don't know if this resonates or not. I know this is a bit mixed up. Yeah, this is just what I'm seeing. I hope this all resonates. I'm sorry this is a bit crazy.